My name is David J. Stubbs. I'm World American, African, Caribbean, uh, and African world history maker. And whatever else my blood say I am. Because my blood say I'm Irish, my blood say I'm Scandinavian, my blood say I'm Scottish, in like 17 different African tribes. So legally, I'm a lots of different world history in history of different countries. But anyway, along our journey, we have different people who we can credit to our main event. Just say, for instance, fighting. Believe it or not, I got to give Mr. Roger Neighborhood that credit. I know it looks strange when you think of Mr. Roger and fighting, but Mr. Roger, the one told me after a severe beating in front of my girlfriend to rehearse every fight in your head or the bully main signature move. And he asked me how many bullets I got. I said about 26. He said, once you learn all their moves, can't no one beat you. None of the bullies can beat you because you become all of them in one. That changed my fighting of being bullied. With me beating the number one bully in the world in an all-out street fight. When I was 13 and he was 24 or 28, something like that. But now, to credit my academic, it started to shift in the 7th grade with the greatest teacher of all time in my life, my special education teacher, Mr. Howard. One day, I was at the bus loading zone, and 3 or 4 boys jumped me, and I was fighting them. Mr. Howard lived right down the road, so he was walking home, and he saw us fighting, and he stopped it. And he said, "What's wrong with you guys? Do y'all know he in special education? Why are y'all picking on him?" And they say, "Because he keep interfering in our business." He said, "What business?" I said, "They bullies, Mr. Howard. They bullies. And I'll fight all of them." Right? Mr. Howard said, "You want to fight all of them?" I said, "I beat all of them, Mr. Howard. Why you think all of them double teaming me?" Right? So he said, "I tell you what. Your bus come yet?" I said, "I missed my bus because I was fighting them." He said, "Well, come walk with me, man, and we'll hang out a little bit and I'll take you home," right? So me and Mr. Howard walked to his house. And I say, me, the goddamn yard look like it ain't been mowed in 3 or 4 years. And he said, "Oh, excuse the yard. I just moved him a couple of weeks ago," right? And he said, "Matter of fact, you want to help me out? And I'll pay you money for it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, let's go to your house. Let me get your mama permission, Miss Daisy permission." So he drove me home. And my mama said, "Oh, that'd be good." He said, "I want to spend a little extra time with him and learn how to read and all that stuff to see what really going on with him." Uh, Mama say, "Sure. That'll keep him out of trouble because God knows he stays in trouble." Right? So Miss Howard said, "I'm going to pick you up tomorrow," which has been Saturday. "I'm going to pick you up tomorrow. Be ready, 8 o'clock sharp." Right? Miss Howard picked me up. You know, I already do yard work because my daddy had me mowing yards. Me and my brother Cedric. So everything Mr. Howard asked me to do, he only had to say it one time and we did it. You know, and we doing that about for 3 weeks because 'cause the yard was in bad shape. And 3 weeks. 'Cause the yard was in bad shape. And 3 weeks. 'Cause the yard was in bad shape. 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 'Cause the yard was in We finally got it under control. But Mr. Howard would still pick me up on weekend to hang out with him. And he'll be grading paper in the kitchen, and I'd be in the living room watching TV, but he had a big table with a puzzle on it. So one day while watching TV, I put the puzzle together. Mr. Howard come to see how I was doing. He said, "Hey, did you put that puzzle together?" See. And remember, I couldn't talk good. I said, he said, "Wait a minute." He went and got another puzzle, spread it out on the table, all kind of ways. And you say, "See how you do with that when you feel like it, but you ain't got to, because this one really hard." He went back to grading paper. He come back. "Son, this is impossible. I got friends with PhDs who can't put this together. We've been trying for years." "No, man. Would you like to try another one?" So Miss Howard go get the other one, spread it out. He said, "Now this one here, none of us, me, my other teacher friends, could never put this one together. In no way you gonna put this together." Miss Howard left. He come back in about 10, 15 minutes. He said, "Oh my God. Man, there ain't nothing wrong with you. I need to go talk to your mama then right now." Right? We got in the car. He told my mama, he had my mama on the phone. He said, "What time your husband get home?" My mama said, "He'll be home in about an hour." He said, "Well, I need to talk to y'all together." Mama said, "What he done did now?" He said, "Oh, he ain't do nothing, Miss Stubbs. He ain't do nothing." So we go back home. My mom and daddy, all us in the kitchen. They all standing up while I'm sitting down. You know, Mr. Howard just brought me there. And he say, "Your son don't have a learning disability. He just put 3 puzzles together in record breaking time. Well, me and some of my other friends, even ones with PEDs, been trying to put together for years and couldn't do it. He said, I'm gonna report it to the principal when we go back to school, cause this guy ain't retarded or nothing wrong with him." And my mama said, "Well, I've been telling them that since kindergarten. He the smartest one in the family. Wherever we got to put something together, whether electronics, furniture, we calling the technician and trying to set up an appointment, and then next thing we know, it's together. And we thinking the technician don't come, but we never get a bill. And then one of the boys say, Mama, that boy doing all that stuff, that little boy." And then when they realized, my mama say she realized what nothing wrong with me. She say she tell the school, and they just won't listen, cause they just figure because he can't talk that he was retarded. But ain't nothing wrong with my baby. I always tell them, ain't nothing wrong with my baby. If there's something wrong with y'all, you know. And Mr. Howard let me know that day that I was different, but I didn't have a learning disability. I just figured they were teaching me wrong or going about it the wrong way. But President Clinton said they couldn't pique my interest. He said with most genius, you must pique their interest. He said, see, when you were in college, from kindergarten to college, he said you were making all D's and F because they couldn't pique your interest. He said once you got into actually golf program, That when we seen a miracle happen, where D's and F's will turn into straight A's and B's. Because when you got in the golf program, it piqued your interest. It made you learn what most kids learn in 12 years. It made you learn it in weeks. And you became from first grade reading to college level in 6 weeks once you got in that golf program. Thank you and God bless. Thank you, Mr. Howard. I love you. And I think he know that I'm a real history maker because I seen one of his friends one day when I left college. And I asked him, do you still talk to Mr. Howard, one of my ex-teachers, right? And the friend was my ex-teacher, Mr. Tate. He was also my swimming coach and track coach. And he said, yeah, I see Mr. Howard. I'm headed over there now. I said, well, tell him I'm a real history. And I graduated from college and I'm a golf course manager if he ever want to play golf. Thank you and God bless.